NASA's top scientists have said we are on the cusp of discovering alien civilizations on other planets and predict we're one generation away from finding something in our Milky Way neighborhood, which is bustling with environments conducive to life. At a panel discussion this past Tuesday, the space scientists predict that the first discoveries will come within a decade. Chief scientist Ellen Stofan believes we'll have definitive evidence within 20 to 30 years, as in most cases we have the technology, and we're on a path to implementing it. And so I think we're definitely on the road. At the session, former astronaut John Grunsfeld said, "I think we're one generation away in our solar system, whether it's on an icy moon or on Mars, and one generation away on a planet around a nearby star." NASA has made huge strides in both spotting distant worlds and analyzing their chemical composition. Stofan said, "We know where to look." Indeed, the Kepler mission has found no shortage of rocks that could support life, while icy moons in our own galaxy have long been suspected to hold incredible secrets beneath their own crust, among them, Jupiter's enigmatic moons, especially Europa, where a gargantuan body of water rages beneath the thin surface and water vapors are literally sprayed 200 kilometers upward, giving clues to life-supporting minerals beneath. This wild Ganymede is thought to have more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. The same can be said of Saturn's satellite Enceladus. Scientists found evidence to suggest that the cracks and scars on its surface appear to be made by raging water currents full of salt. According to the director of NASA's Astrophysics Division, Paul Hertz, all of this makes the Milky Way quite a soggy place. We can see water in the interstellar clouds from which planetary systems and stellar systems form, he says. We can see water in the disks of debris that are going to become planetary systems around other stars, and we can even see comets being dissipated in other solar systems as their star evaporates them. The Mars rover Curiosity continues to dazzle scientists with intriguing new finds. Just 2 weeks ago, it discovered organic molecules containing carbon and fixed nitrogen, elements central to all known life. Humanity is facing two separate challenges in space. One is finding signs of intelligent life, the other is identifying potentially habitable environments. While one may rush to tie the two together, the latter is a considerably easier proposition to make. Stofan is all but certain the manned mission to Mars will emerge with spectacular discoveries. "I'm a field geologist. I go out and break open rocks and look for fossils," she said. "Those are hard to find. So I have a bias that it's eventually going to take humans on the surface of Mars, field geologists, astrobiologists, chemists, actually out there looking for that good evidence of life that we can bring back to Earth for all the scientists to argue about. Europa will see us much sooner than that. As soon as 2022, our $2.1 billion will get to work on probing the mysteries of its oceans. And then there are the water vapors, spotted in the region next to the southern pole. These discoveries are accompanied by huge strides in lens technologies NASA says will be central to finding alien life. Already there are several contenders for the next king of telescopes, their tech specs threatening to leave the famed Hubble far behind, among them the James Webb Space Telescope, which cost the space agency a fat $8.8 billion. The technology on board is strong enough to peer at distant super-Earths and analyze the possible chemical composition of those worlds, the gases they spew out being strong indicators of life. For direct signs, however, we still need to take good old photos of the rocks, according to Hertz. That is why NASA is hard at work on the next generation of telescopes, one that will feature a coronagraph. The device is invaluable for blocking out the glare of the host stars of the exoplanets, giving us a clear view of the celestial bodies. It's set to launch sometime in the mid-2020s. This is incredible news, guys. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to hear this. Just knowing that I may live long enough to know people like us were right about alien life existing elsewhere besides here on Earth makes me so happy. What are your thoughts on this? NASA has selected a variety of companies to work on projects to create advanced space technologies, including faster methods of propulsion. Other projects to be worked on include improved habitats for humans, and small satellites to explore deep space. And one of the companies in the 12 Next Space Technologies for Exploration Partnership says they have an engine that could get humans to Mars in just 39 days. The VASIMR engine, which uses plasma as a propellant, is being developed by the Ad Astra rocket company in Texas. Their engine shot to fame a few years ago when it was revealed that it could drastically reduce the journey time to Mars from months to weeks, although it may require a nuclear power source. And following the successful test of a prototype in 2013, it seems NASA is now considering it for use on a future mission to Mars. Dr. Franklin Chang Diaz, Ad Astra's chairman and CEO, said in a statement, "We are thrilled by this announcement and proud to be joining forces with NASA in the final steps of the technology maturation. We look forward to a very successful partnership as we jointly advance the technology to flight readiness." Over 3 years, NASA will give the company about $10 million to get the engine almost ready to fly in space. This will be achieved with a demonstration of their new prototype, the VX200SS, which will be able to fire continuously for more than 100 hours. A previous test in 2013 saw Ad Astra complete 10,000 successful high-power firings of a VASIMR prototype. However, this involved short-duration bursts for less than a minute. Proving the engine works for more than 100 hours will be key to it one day being used on a spacecraft. With this and other technologies, NASA said in a statement they want to develop exploration capabilities around the Moon and at Mars. William Kirsten Mayer, Associate Administrator for Human Exploration and Operations at NASA headquarters, said, "Commercial partners were selected for their technical ability to mature key technologies and their commitment to the potential applications both for government and private sector uses. This work ultimately will inform the strategy to move human presence further into the solar system." 3 advanced electric propulsion projects, including VASIMR, will develop engines that operate in the 50 to 300 kilowatt range. By comparison, current electric propulsion used by NASA, such as the Ion engine on the Dawn spacecraft, operates at less than 5 kilowatts. Meanwhile, 7 companies have been picked to work on the habitats that will house astronauts as they make their way to Mars in the 2030s. While the Orion capsule will take astronauts to and from Earth, it can only sustain a crew of 4 for 21 days. To make the journey to Mars, expected to last anywhere from several months to 3 years, astronauts will need to live in some other structure. NASA will be hoping one of the projects it is funding will find a way to house the astronauts for the grueling journey to and from the Red Planet. NASA is also asking companies to development capabilities to sustain a crew of 4 for 60 days in this lunar space, between Earth and the Moon, with the ability to scale up to Mars missions. The companies selected include Bigelow Aerospace, who are creating an inflatable habitation module, a prototype of which will be attached to the ISS in 2018. And finally, 2 companies have been selected to develop small satellites, CubeSats, to launch as secondary payloads on the first flight of NASA's huge Space Launch System rocket in 2019. As the rocket is so powerful, it will give these CubeSats a rare opportunity to explore deep space, as opposed to remaining in Earth orbit. So all of a sudden Mars seems to be a hot topic, especially trying to get there as fast as possible. Could this be due to the fact the Mars rover may have discovered massive deposits of gold? I reported this last month and just knew that a sudden burst of interest would happen. What are your thoughts on this? A group of Russian UFO researchers claim they have found a 300-million-year-old metallic screw in the Kaluga region of Russia. They said the discovery is evidence that a technologically advanced civilization existed on Earth millions of years ago. Some in the UFO community believe that the screw might have been left behind by aliens that visited the Earth millions of years ago. The Russian UFO research group, Cosmopoic, first announced the discovery of the 300-million-year-old screw embedded inside a rock in the 1990s. And since then mainstream scientists have struggled to explain it away as a natural phenomenon. The group conducts expeditions to remote sites on Earth in search for evidence of alien presence or activity, and cryptozoological species, such as Bigfoot or Almas. Cosmopoic researchers found the screw while visiting the Kaluga region of Russia to locate the site of an asteroid impact that occurred in the 1990s. While searching for evidence of the fallen asteroid, the researchers found a rock that appeared to have remains of a metallic screw embedded in it. The alleged screw measured about an inch in length. According to the website Ancient Code, the Cosmopoic group researchers said the screw was composed of metal. Geologists estimated the age of the rock to be about 300 to 320 million years old, older than the existence of dinosaurs. Evidence shows that iron atoms of the screw and the silicon atoms of the rock have in fact spread and fused, suggesting that the screw is by no means a recent addition to the rock. So in other words, it was not a fake.